Hello and welcome back to the garden. And after 5 weeks of rain, which is hard to believe, I'm at last back out in the garden. And I'm starting up today in the white winter border down here in the lower quarry. And hopefully just seeing these white flowers will give those of you who are still under snow a glimmer of what spring will be like, hopefully for you all, in a month or so's time. But today I want to extend this border, which is now coming into its third winter, and it's predominantly planted with hellebores. And I'd like eventually to get all the way around this big, large sycamore tree, this big mature tree. Eventually take the planting all the way around. It'll take a few years. But I'm going to add some more hellebores today, and I also have ornamental grasses that I would like to add too. So let me bring you in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. Now I did manage to plant a couple of hellebores yesterday in the drizzly rain, and they are at the front and they are ice and roses white. This particular one here is another one of the gold collection, which the majority of these hellebores are, and this is winter ballet lizarn. And this particular one starts flowering in October, and look at it, still flowering now, and it is February, and it'll continue. It has more flower buds and it'll continue probably till the end of March. But the planting process is the same for all of them. Plant them at the same depth as the plant, but what I've done with the hellebores, I've loosened the soil quite a bit in the bottom of the planting hole because they do like to root deep. They're deep-rooted plants. If you can, add some leaf mould. I have this lovely leaf mould, which, because I have lots of trees, it's easy for me to come by, and I do save all of this leaf mould up for times like this, and I'm just mixing it in with the soil that I dug out. And it's one thing hellebores like is leaf mould. I'm not adding any fertiliser or anything like that. And if you are planting hellebores, they like a lot of moisture, but they don't like to be waterlogged. The majority of hellebores, should I say majority? A lot of hellebores, let's say, are woodland type plants or prefer woodland settings. Under trees like this is a lovely spot for them. But these gold collection hellebores, they will tolerate a lot more sun. The growers actually say sun to partial shade, although you wouldn't want them to be out in a hot midday sun because they would just crisp up in the summer months. I've teased the roots slightly because it was a little bit pot bound, and then I'm just filling it in with the soil that I dug out earlier, mixed with the leaf mould. Now come round to the other side of the border, and it's the same process. Dug out the hole, adding lots of leaf mould. And this particular hellebore is another one of the gold collection, and it's part again of the winter ballet series, but this one is called winter ballet white. The difference with the one I added previously, which was lizarn, this one doesn't start flowering until November, and it has smaller flowers, and the height of the flowers are smaller. It's pretty much a smaller variety in the winter ballet series. So just the same, I'm adding it in the bottom here. The depth of the plant is the same as the depth it was in the pot, and I'm just adding in with this lovely leaf mould. It does make a difference if you can. It's not essential. It won't stop the plant from growing and flowering, but I think long term it just makes for probably a bigger plant. It'll grow better if it has the conditions that it loves. couple of things I wanted to add. The gold collection hellebores that I grow here are all sterile hybrids that don't produce any seed. If you wanted to increase the numbers of them in your garden, you would have to split them in late spring or in the autumn. Springtime is the best for me, and some of these clumps have got so big now, I think I'll do it for the first time. The other thing is they are expensive. Are they worth it? That's something that you would have to decide for yourself. The next job that I want to do in this border is to replace one of the ornamental grasses, and I have these all the way around the front of this border, and this is Liriope Monroe White, and as a grass it's doing very well, but it hasn't flowered in the 3 years that it's been here. It should produce white flower spikes in the summer months, and that would have been the only flower that I would have in this very shaded border in the summer. Obviously, once the hellebores are out of flower, you just have the glossy green leaves, the ferns are green, the snowdrops are gone, the daffodils are gone, the cyclamen, obviously all have disappeared in the summer months. So I needed something to brighten up this area underneath this very large sycamore tree. So I'm going to replace the Liriope with another grass, another ornamental grass, and this is a Carex Everest. I had a choice of two Carexes. One was Feather Falls, and then this one. I chose this one because it has a brighter, whiter stripe going through it. The Feather Falls, which does tend to grow as a larger grass, was a little bit more creamier, so I've stuck with the Everest. So I need to dig up the Liriope, pot them up, they'll go somewhere else in this garden, and replace them all the way around the front with this Carex Everest grass. So I better get on with it. Couple of things. These are young starter plants, and I've had them outside all winter. I bought them last year with the intention of adding them here in the spring, and I've waited till now so I could see where all the snowdrops came through, because I didn't want to disturb all of the bulbs that I had in the ground. If these had been bigger specimens, I would have split them, but they're too small, so I will have to invest in a few more to take me all the way around the front of this border. And if you're adding these grasses, ornamental grasses in the garden, it's a little bit early to do it now. As I said, I've had these outside all winter, so it's pretty safe to do it for me, and I have a bit of a microclimate down here, and it's always a bit warmer than it is all the way at the top of the quarry. last job of today is to mulch this border, and I use this bark, landscape bark, composted shreddings really, and it's very lightweight, and I like to use this around all of the plants that I've added, just making sure that you don't go right up to the crown of the plant, because I don't want the crown of any of the plants to rot away, particularly in our wet weather. Two benefits from adding this: one, it stops the weeds from returning, and two, it sets the plants off. It makes the border look finished. Running all the way through this border around all of the hellebores is our common snowdrop, which is the relentless nivalis, and not quite in flower, tiny patch opened up there, but in the next few days with this mild weather, this will be just a froth of white flowers. So this gold collection hellebore is Jess. The ones in the front are Ice and Roses White. And the reason why I love these gold collection hellebores, well, several reasons. They are incredibly disease resistant. Lovely green glossy leaves which are evident all year round. The flower spikes, and we've got several flower spikes coming up from each clump. They're tall, above the leaf canopy. No need to cut the leaves back so you can see the hellebores. They're so tall. And they are sterile flowers. They don't set seed. You won't get lots of seedlings, therefore the flowers stay true to colour. Obviously these are white, but they stay true to form every year. And at the front you have the grasses I've just added. This is the Carex Everest grass, very small for now, but they'll bulk up in the next year. Lovely white striped grass, so that should add something to this border in the summer months. And then running through the border there's lots of deciduous ferns too. And then this lovely double at the back, I've got several doubles at the back. One is Double Ellen, but this one is Amelia. And it's particularly pretty, lovely big double flowers. And this isn't part of the gold collection, that's a different grower. And then you can see the leaves of the cyclamen, lovely marbled effect leaves, and they would have produced white flowers in the autumn time. I don't think I'll be adding anything more to this border other than possibly a few white begonias in the summer months. But let's take a wander down this path and I'll show you what the next project is for the next video. So this border is very much in its infancy. Do have shrubs along the very front section here, but that's all I've actually done, apart from this section down here where the blue bucket is, all the way down there. Got the stumpery on this side, which is not looking its best this time of year. Everything's died back, but let's head down towards where I added snowdrops and some shrubs last year. So the next project is to continue in this bankside, which I started last year. Added the snowdrops, they're all doing really well. Daffodils just starting to peek through the soil, and I added shrubs, these akuba shrubs, which the deer have just destroyed, and every time there's a young shoot, you can bet your bottom dollar they'll be gone by tomorrow, so I need to dig them out and actually put them somewhere else. Similarly, I had hydrangeas in here, and every time again there's a new shoot coming through, the deer just eat them, and it's pretty much half dead, this particular one, and there's several of those and they need to come out too. One success is the oriental hellebores. These are the orientalis hellebores that I planted last year. These are ones I grow from seed and from cuttings, and they have loved this woodland spot. So the intention is to add more of those. So that's it for today. In the next video I'll be back in the lower quarry working in this bankside border, adding a few shrubs which are hopefully deer resistant, lifting and dividing the snowdrops and adding more hellebores. So thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.